send their fans home happy from the Frost Bank Center. It's the last time they're going to be in this building for the next month. 138-125. San Antonio gets it done. Nate Ryan, the Lone Star legend, TJ Ford. Not really much else to talk about on a storyline. Steph Castle, 40 points. 12 rebounds, 12 assists, his second career triple-double, the second 40-point triple-double in Spurs history.
I mean, we talked about it to start off the half, how quietly he was reaching epic game tonight, and have 40 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists is one of the best performers I've seen in a very, very long time. He was very comfortable throughout the entire night. He hit his 3-ball, which was very, very surprising to probably most teams. And then when you look at that ferocious dunk there to top it off to get 40 points, it's so amazing.
Yeah, talk about fireworks. They're exploding to the rim on the crash, all while, too, guarding a lot of times the other team's best player. You see, we just mentioned this, but second career 40-point triple-double in Spurs history. Third career 40-point triple-double in Spurs history. Second player, Big Dave, who was sitting courtside here the other two times.
Yeah, I wonder how Big Dave feel about that tonight. I think he got to enjoy a guy that's being next to him, a type of guy like Castle having an epic night in front of the home crowd, which they won't get to see these guys for a long time with the Rodeo being here. So what a great performance by Castle and the team tonight.
Yeah, 2 more games this week before the All-Star break. They're going to be on the road against the Lakers and then the Warriors, and then a select few Spurs will be staying in the state of California. They're on their way to All-Star weekend next weekend, including Mitch Johnson, the head coach.
Well, it's a privilege to be a part of All-Star weekend, and we have guys that will be able to participate and get that experience. And it's once in a lifetime, and I think we have many guys that will be All-Stars for many, many years to come. Unfortunately, we get a break of being at home and getting some rest to get ready for that second half.
Well, Devin Vassell just told me he's yet to start packing for the Rodeo road trip. He's got a couple days to do so. There's a look at Devin. 17 points tonight on extremely efficient shooting. Coming around that curl. Spurs big winners tonight. Don't go anywhere. We're back. Recapping Stephon Castle's 40-point triple-double. Just a sight to behold tonight at the Frost Bank Center. Take out your archive books here, TJ. Guards in Spurs history with 40-plus point games. Steph Castle makes the list, but I don't know if anybody's catching the Iceman.
No, I don't think anybody's catching the Iceman. I mean, he's got a lot of separation there with 67 40-point balls, and you look at a guy that's a Hall of Fame, that's a Spurs legend. I think he will hold on to that record for quite some more years.
I mean, 67 40-point games, that's just like pulling up to the arena, and it's just like another day on the job. Here's 40, take it.
You seem like you can count the book with 67 he had. I mean, that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, and that's why he has a nickname called the Iceman.
Iceman, putting it in his back pocket. Stephon Castle now joining that illustrious list. Deacon of distribution tonight, TJ Ford, the assists. Spurs sharing the basketball at a high clip.
We talk about it all the time. What makes this team very dangerous, being able to move the basketball and sharing the basketball. You see here getting out in the break, throwing a bunch of alley hoops and guys filling in the lanes and running the floor. Castle here, when he's coming at you full speed, his strength, his size allows him to create creativity. If you look at a lot of these highlights, it is all highlights of lobs at the basket with guys running, filling the lane, and throwing it to the rim, and guys putting it down.
13-2 when the Spurs have 30 or more assists. Talk about the Mavericks. Defensive tape that you're reviewing. Back-to-back games, 135 on Thursday, 138 here on Saturday. That's the most points the Spurs have scored in back-to-back games since 2022. Not a lot of positives to take away defensively.
No, when you look at the Mavs, I mean, look, you was able to put your force on them in the second half late in the game, and that carried over here, and you knew that they was just a matter of time. They was able to get through the first half and keep it close, but the Spurs aggressiveness, roster, bench, everybody's able to be productive, and we was locked down defensively, which made just an easy win in the second half.
And as a result, it's 4 consecutive wins for San Antonio, now 20 games above 500. February's been pretty nice. Have yet to lose in the second month of the calendar year. Wembanyama going up top. 13-point win. We're still recapping it.
Have that type of approach. It's amazing how much you end up being the recipient at times of the advantage you may have created for your teammate. And I think a lot of times we talk about it, screening. When you set a screen and something happens and all of a sudden the ball finds you. Well, when you get guarded like that, it can be a very similar deal. And I thought he was absolutely phenomenal all night with his pace, being in attack mode, and balancing all of it at the same time.
Speaking of attack mode, how would you rate Carter Bryant's play?
I thought he flipped the game for us there in the second quarter. We were extremely sloppy in terms of our turnovers and some really glaring game plan execution breakdowns defensively. And I thought he came in and set a tone with his physicality and just resistance on defense. And again, when you have that approach, it's amazing. Next thing you know, you find a wide open shot because they, left him open, and you get a couple offensive rebounds, you get steals and blocks, and it can be contagious for his teammates. But I thought he flipped the game for us.
Overall, were you just pleased to see them keep their foot on the pedal tonight?
I think we've gotten back the last few games to playing with our pace. I think we took a step back there for a minute, and again, you start getting some bumps and bruises. That can sometimes be the one of the first things that go, especially during that time of the year. Everybody wants to play fast at the start of the year, and it's hard to maintain it. I think we've gotten back to that the last few games. I think we've seen the advantages we can create and the just the pressure that we can put on a defense when we continue to play with pace.
Got 11 blocks tonight as a team. I know Victor leads that department there, but how infectious is that want, that will to?
Yeah, I think it's been another area that we have tried to challenge them on. We want Victor to go get everything, and the ripple effect of that at times is, well, we got to have his back, right? Because then his guy becomes a lob threat or the best offensive rebounder in the gym. And that can be hard for big guys, Luke included as well. If they're going to be that empowered to go get everything around the rim, we got to have their back, and I think we've been a little bit better at that, and that's something we got to continue to get better at. And then our side and rear contest by our perimeter players. As we fight through and continue to pursue and have multiple efforts, the contest is a big part of our defense, and it's something that we want it to be a little bit more consistent. I think tonight it was better than it has been.
Steph knocked down some early threes. Is that an area you see him, he'll be able to improve on more and more?
I think Steph and Dylan, I wanted to say, just because I agree that he did knock down some other runs, but I think they both did a good job the last couple games of being prepared to shoot. And when you play the right way offensively as a team and you pass the ball on time on target, which we have to continue to get better at, you a lot of times end up getting expectations of when your shot comes. And then the highest level is when you can expect where your teammate shot comes from. And I say all that because those two kids, as they continue to grow in that area and expect where their threes will come from and their teammates will expect where those threes will come from, I have zero concern or doubt that they'll become very, very good and consistent shooters.
Thanks, you guys. Talked about
Nate and TJ here wrapping up another Spurs win. Mitch Johnson talked, TJ, about Carter Bryant flipping the game for San Antonio in that second quarter.
Well, he brought the energy right away, and he was able to be really productive coming off the bench, and he established what the style, the tempo, the energy within the building and the fans, and I think it carried a long way throughout the rest of the game, and it allowed the starters to kind of get a break the first half, and they finished it off in the second.
Do we think Carter Bryant knows that his career high is 11 points? He had 11 in the first half on Wednesday night, then didn't score in the second half, 11 in the first half tonight, and then didn't score in the second half. So he's stuck on 11.
Yeah, he's getting his career high in the first half.
We were rooting for it up top.
The most important thing is he is building his confidence. We've been seeing it week after week. You've been a big guy that's been advocate about him getting on the floor and being the type of player that you've seen him be at Arizona, and he's been able to showcase why he's been able to be drafted and why he's getting minutes here for the Spurs.
Well, this hardwood is about to be torn up and the rodeo dirt is coming in. There's a big pile of dirt just a couple feet away from us. They're ready to pour this one in. But the rodeo road trip starts on Tuesday night on the West Coast. Lakers, Warriors, then a couple days off for the All-Star break. Technically home games on TJ Ford's home court in Austin, Suns and Kings. But this rodeo trip, TJ, no joke. We're not going to see the Spurs back in the Frost Bank Center for another month.
Well, we won't see them for another month, but I know we have 2 games to go before All-Star, and you look like we're playing very, very well. And I know with Coach Mitch want to be able to get these guys to still, lock in and focus because you still have 2 more games to be able to complete before the All-Star break. And the way we're playing now, I know he wants to continue to keep this momentum going as we're going into All-Star break after these next 2 games.
Are you going to make any appearances at the rodeo? We were talking about that in the commercial break.
I don't think so, man. I don't want to be on a bull.
You were. How many seconds do you think you last on the bull?
I might be the guy with the little red thing where, I'm running and hiding from the bull. I don't think I'm getting on one.
That's a good nickname for you.
I'll let you have the bull, and I'll distract the bull while we're trying to get you off the ground.
Sounds like a good plan to me. We'll keep you with the Longhorns. How about that, TJ? That's as close as the rodeo you're getting. Spurs win their 4th consecutive game, 138-125. Stephon Castle, a 40-point triple-double. Tie a bow on it, young man.